Hey there, lads and lasses. Welcome to Friday. This here, of course, is Thunderhands64. Coming at you live from the west coast of the United States here on a Friday. It is a little bit past 11 a.m. That can only mean that it's time for some Buffooncraft SMP Season 6. Also, welcome to the month of May. That means that we will, not for this stream though, unfortunately, but we will have a new video redeem for this month, like we always do. Kachi has something in mind that he would like me to do, so again, I'm waiting on Kachi once more. But hopefully you won't get the May redeem the first week into June. I should have it by Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, let's log on to the server. And then we can talk while we're on the server. How's that? We can get caught up on things. Let's see, display scene right over here. There it is. Oh, it's glory. Let's log on in. It looks like Lux might still be on. I think he is. Apparently so. And here we are. In a boat, out on the sea, off the shore of the base, in the middle of the night. Let's paddle on back, shall we? I've made a few small changes on the base. So let's, we can look at those. And then we can see where we're at and where we're going, and I'll give you a general update on the progress. You guys may have noticed that this is new, and this will have a secret door kind of thing where we blow a horn or press a button or something, this will open up. Allow us to come on in. The interior will also be changed and stuff, but for right now, this is kind of cool. There'll be boat tunnels all under the island. That's something I'm thinking about. There we go. Oh, okay. No sleeping. All right. Sure, Lux. Anything you say, buddy. There's something else I want to show you guys. Something else I want to show you. Friends, viewers, chat. Let's do this. Now, it's nighttime. I wish it were day, but Lux would have it otherwise. Let's pillar on up a bit here so we can get a grand view of things. I want to get really, really high up here. It's almost there. Is that high enough? Almost. Let's go the full 64 all the way up. Let's get a view in here. Goodly enough. That's better. Let's now the render distance is probably set at about 32. Yeah, let's crank it right up to 64 for now. And it's nighttime, but we should still be able to see the things we want to see. It just looks much better in the daytime. Oh, yeah. Look at that thing, would you? I've done some decoration on that level and stuff. Maybe we'll pop over and have a look at it today. But this is what I wanted to talk about. When I'm talking about procrastinating on my build, I'm talking about procrastinating on the main feature of my build. The first 1/12 of it will be located right there. I am not talking about procrastinating on my base. This entire island is my base. All right? That is my base. That is my base. That is my base. That is my base. This is my base. All of this stuff is my base. So while I've been procrastinating on the main build of my base, the base itself, no, I've been steadily working on that. And there's more of it below. Wait, there's more. Yeah, there's more of it down in there. There's the amethyst farm and all of that stuff. Yeah. Not to mention, this. Right? And other things. Okay, it's daytime. This is my favorite view, by the way. I absolutely love this, being across the water from me. That's a bit of an eyesore. But then we've got OPG's base. Those chunks have been updated. I just love this northwest shoreline over here. The eastern shoreline is just barely rendering in at 64 chunks. The coolest part of this is just out of range from here, but if you go to the very eastern shore of my island, especially the southern point down there, you can see Nova's base across there. It just renders in. But I did want to point out that I am working steadily on my base. It's just the main build I had been procrastinating on. But as I had mentioned, there's some pre-work, some preliminary work that has to be done in Blender, and I've made significant progress on that. And I'm just about to finish that. I was hoping to have it finished last night and then have it ready for today, but I don't. I had to learn about rigging and armatures, and right now I think in the stage I'm at right now I need to do the weighting on the armature. Weighting as in weighting, weighting as in weight, not weight as in more procrastination. So that's what and then once I do that, then I can voxelize it. I can spit out the PDFs like some of you had seen in season 4, and then I can start building the first one right here. The main build will, I'm thinking of making 12 components to it that will be arranged in a circle around the island. I'm going to build one, and I'm going to see how it goes. If that goes well, I'll build 3 more at the cardinal points. And if that goes well enough, I will then build the other 8. But I'm going to take it, I'm going to chunk it, and I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to at least build one. But that should catch all of you up on where we're at with the base. Good Lord. Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, that's a little better. Good Lord. Also, you may have noticed, I've added some friends. Right? These skeletal horses were abandoned around the Christmas area. And so I figured I'll bring them here and make good use of them here. So when we have guests, as guests have mounts in which they can ride over to the various places around the base. Huxley, of course, is my main dude, right? But we've added some more. We've added Thompson, Persig, and Gowersword. So my theme for this season in naming my pets in my horses is favorite writers. Right? Aldous Huxley, Hunter Thompson, Herbert Persig, Scott Gowersword. And Scott Gowersword, I know that guy. So, yeah, he's a horror writer from New England. You guys should definitely check him out. Okay, first things first. let's get this out of our hand because otherwise we'll just drive. Ah, so I was going to go over to the trade hall and make a new sword for Lux because he lost his sword recently, but he's already done that. So without the main build ready to commence, I have to find something to do, which for me is never a problem. I always have stuff to do around the base. Yeah, I never want for things to do on Minecraft. I always have too much to do. So but specific things to do though, no. With that being said, there's something I want to show you all that I noticed a couple of days back. Let's bump the render distance back down. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. And there we go. Okay, let's do this instead. For the most part, let's just bring it right on down to 16. Yeah, that's good. Are we being trolled? I think we are. Sir, really? Really?
Sorry.
And on stream, no less. So I was going to make you a new sword over at the trade hall.
Ooh.
But you've already done that, so.
Yeah. Look at it. Look at all his magnificence.
Let's see what you've got here. Okay, that's comparable.
Pretty good.
Not too shabby. Until, of course, you lose it again next time.
Right, don't remind me of that. You know when you drop something and you sort of see it in slow motion?
No!
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, so what do I need? What do I press to throw again? Oh yes, Q. No! Because you got that fire pit underneath the Wither Skeleton farm, and it just fell.
Oh, so I think I think on the channel you said that you dropped it in lava though.
Yes, it was like into lava.
Oh, fire pit. Okay, yeah, I thought it was.
Sorry.
I thought it was
lava fire pit.
That kind of fire, which is
no. I was. My finger was twitching on Q. Oh, don't. Thunder.
Don't.
Thunder.
Tempting fate there. Tempting fate.
Please. Please
hey,
don't.
I know you've already seen this, but I haven't showed the viewers yet. So I wanted to go over and look at Nova's tunnel.
Yeah, let's go.
I just can't point out how amazed I am by that.
Oh, it is insane.
Okay, so let's go check this out because I noticed this a few days back. And I've actually been down the tunnel a few times, and for some reason, this time I paused and actually looked at the walls. Oh, look, he's got a friend. All right.
Oh, yay.
So I came barreling down here to get some stuff.
Come at me.
By the way, viewers, this is how our friend Lux loses things.
There it is.
Are you quite finished yet? There he is. Okay. Well done. Well done. I have to admit.
Thank you.
Yeah. You, should do that more often. Anyways, so I was coming down here, and I happened to look at this. Now, he has an Egyptian theme, which should be pretty obvious. But it's not so much just the chosen theme and, like, the structures and the colors. He's embraced the entire concept. So, you build another tunnel like this out to your base, and you think to yourself, how are you going to decorate it? I would have never thought of this kind of stuff. Now, he has made little representations, hieroglyphic representations of his base features. And I think this is just amazing. I think it's amazing because of the concept, but also because they're so darn small, and yet they are instantly recognizable for what they're supposed to represent. Like, the pyramid probably isn't that hard to do, but look, he even bothered to texture it, which is like, really?
And not only did he do it on one side, he also did the night on the other side.
Right, and that's what I wanted to point
and
out.
day.
So it's going to go down through this side, the northern side, and you can see where he's got his little sun and the buttons for the clouds and everything, the little comical Nova right there. It's just so cool, right? Comes over here. Here's the little sarcophagus, which still makes me chuckle every time I look at this. And then, like this, the Sphinx. It's like he built this. He, her, san, su, with 5 blocks, if you don't count the head. And yet, you know exactly what that's supposed to be.
I think this is probably the most impressive one.
Well, I don't know. You do have this.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is so good.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 blocks. 9 if you count the lantern. To represent, and look, he's in it, actually riding it.
It's on a half slab as well.
Oh yeah.
So you have to manually move that into there.
Yeah, and so the impressive thing again is how representative it is, and how few blocks. That's what blows me away.
So darn cool.
Although, slight criticism, I think it should be on blue for water, maybe? But, you know, it could be beached. It could be beached for whatever reason.
I mean, it is Nova's boat, so yeah.
Yeah. And I think he has yet to build this. So, but that's his plan. Over here are the palm trees. All right, for his the wall features, right? Over this, I can't quite place this one though. This may be for some future build that.
I always thought it looked like a car, I'll be honest.
Probably. I mean, the Guardian farm isn't really part of his base per se, so I don't think it's that.
But it's also, it's like the... I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think he has future plans, and that's part of it. And then, of course, this is his front gate, right?
I just love the mini Novas.
And then having done this for one side, then you think, okay, what am I going to... I've kind of exhausted the features of the base, if you were him, thinking, what do I do for the other side? And so he does the Egyptian day-night, life-death thing, and on the other side, he does the same features, only at nighttime. And it's like brilliant. Look, he's got the moon with the snow, and it's just...
Have you seen his base recently?
Oh yes. Yes, I have.
It's something special.
It really is. And I'm not going to show off his base because I'd rather have him do that during the stream and leave a little suspense. But it's absolutely shocking.
All I'm going to say is, it was built pretty much in 3 days.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
now,
for the most part,
it was a long 3 days. He does put in very long sessions like that. So he argues, well, it just didn't instantly appear. It took me several hours to do it. We're all just shaking our heads.
I mean, yes, he placed every single one of those blocks, but does Nova... I imagine his eyes sort of glaze over.
And he goes into a mode, right?
Wait, body doesn't move. The only thing that moves is fingers and hand. That's it. That's all that moves, and all you can see is block.
Blocks just appearing out of nowhere.
Yes, exactly.
And just a ridiculous rate, right? Just blocks being spammed everywhere.
Yeah, like, have you seen The Hangover?
Oh yeah.
You know the part in the first one when he's in the casino, and he's card counting,
Yeah.
and you've got all these numbers and equations flying past
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine his brain looks like.
In fact, you ought to make a GIF out of that and post that.
Oh yeah, I will. Only for like Minecraft blocks.
Yeah. Do I hear birds
Guys.
in the background?
Oh no, those are my birds. Yeah, they're. I've got my window open.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
All right. I thought, am I going mad, or is it just the 12.4 update with the ambient sounds? That's in 12.5.
The new update.
I say 12, but I mean 21.5. Yeah, so I just wanted to show the viewers that because it just blew me away.
It's so good.
And the thing is, when you glance at it, it seems like a simple thing, but when you go into how small it is and how hard that was to build and how well it does its thing, it's not simple at all.
Oh,
That's
hang on,
hard to
wait a
do. Yes. Are you shutting your window now? Just on a call. Okay. All right. I should so.
Sorry.
Oh.
I was just on a call.
You're lucky that was a fast call because, dude, I was so setting you up right there.
You know how the last time I had to leave quite quick?
Yeah.
How I was yoinked over to the pub.
Yeah.
But the pub, it's happened again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't. This is. Am I becoming? Is this? Should I be worried?
About what?
Like, all my meetings seem to happen in a pub with drink.
Yeah. Why is that a cause to worry? That's a good thing.
Is it?
I could stand for a few more meetings like that.
To be fair, the last time this happened, it was the last time we were there. I stayed in for about 7 hours.
Oh, yeah, I could see where that would kind of impact your productivity a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't eat as well, so that was another error.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is a pub.
Yeah.
They do have food there, or they should.
They,
If they don't,
Yeah.
it's not a pub, it's a sports bar.
they were fully booked, so I couldn't have food. So that's my excuse.
Okay. All right. So be it. I have mentioned before that I do miss that living in Southern California. The pub culture from back east it's extremely sad
It's
for
so
somebody
nice.
like me.
Especially when we're in like the 2 weeks in the UK where we actually have decent weather.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to the pub.
Of course they do.
Like, I've got my window open, it's that bloody hot.
I will say, this is in Southern California. This is the best time of year to be here.
I can imagine with all the flowers and everything sort of...
Late winter through to spring is beautiful here. Everything comes back to life. There's moisture.
I mean, spring is probably one of my favorite times of year.
It's green. There's
yeah,
moisture.
Everything's coming back. It's not too hot, and not too cold. You've got beautiful flowers, beautiful smells everywhere. Summer, it just gets hot. Autumn, it's like a B-Tech version of spring. And then winter's cool, but not so much in the UK. If I lived in like Canada or something like that, where it just gets really cold, really, really white everywhere, like just blankets of snow, I would love it. But it's just grey.
That's 50-50 because I used to live in New Hampshire, so that's where I grew up. That's like Canada, or just 4 hours south of that. And yeah, the winters are pretty heavy duty there. with all of that stuff, and it's kind of 50-50. Shoveling out your car sucks. Scraping the ice off of your car it sucks. There are a lot of things that suck about that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you guys continue. You guys can still function at that time. We get an inch of snow, the entire country goes into meltdown. It's like, what are we going to do? We're gonna die.
Yeah, I think people think, Americans, when we think of Britain, we just think of the Charles Dickens kind of stuff where it's just brutally cold and stuff, and it's just everybody suffering and everything. And it's like, actually, your winters are quite milder than our northern parts. So,
yeah.
Thank you, Gulfstream.
It's just... I love how the country just goes into complete shock and meltdown as soon as a snowflake hits the ground and it stays.
That's our South, really.
It's like, right, I'm not going in. It's an absolute tundra out there. I can't possibly get it into work. I am going to stay at home. I'm going to stay safe. My car can't get out the driveway. It's ridiculous. Then you got like Norway or like Canada where they're like, yeah, we've had about a meter of snow in the last hour.
Yeah, we're living
we're still gonna work.
a semi-subterranean life under the snow.
Yeah.
We've dug tunnels out to everything. The structures are unviewable from the surface.
We have become Inuit.
But here in Southern California, though, we only really have like 2 months of nice weather. The rest of the year, everything's gray and brown and dead and on fire. So...
That's fun. Right, I'm the bell toll, so I need to
I
leave.
can hear it, yeah.
Right.
That's not a sound effect, people. That's IRL.
That is a legitimate church. Right, enjoy your stream, sir.
Enjoy your time at the pub. Have one for me.
Will do. Bye!
Bye. All right. Okay, yeah, we were going to do that. But now, no. All right, so I did just want to show chat. I'm very impressed with, that kind of building is extremely difficult to do. At least it is for me. And yeah, I'm super impressed by that. Okay, things that we can do. Let's bop around the island. Let's have a... Again, since we're in daytime now, and we're just looking around, looking a boat, let's bump that render distance back up because it's really cool. Oh, hey, what we can do is we can take a look at the decoration for the mob farm, the southern mob farm. I'm not going to say it's complete, but it has reached a state of completion. And that's kind of the theme I've been going with so far this season. Like, this is not the tunnel that I want. I have something else in mind for my nether tunnel, especially now that we have that nether tunnel over there. But I have something different in mind, but I just threw this together so it's not just a netherrack tube in the wall. But this is temporary. Yeah, I have something, we need to make something much cooler, and I have something much cooler in mind for this. So I've been building temporary things, right? And like that, because I just don't want to leave things undone. That way, if for some reason the season ends or something happens, we've reached a stage of completion, sort of, and which is better than no completion at all. So, we've turned the mob farm into 100% passive now. We're making XP farms, personal ones. Nova's made one. I'll be making one myself, probably not this stream. In fact, definitely not this stream, but I will be making a similar one. Look, Nova's stuff is rendering in now. The view from up here is really cool. There it is. Come on, Chunks, you can do it. Look at that. That looks so cool. And this place at night is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've said it many times, but we've picked an incredible spot. There's what's his name's base over there. Soon to be the most dangerous place on the server. That's including any particular place that Lux happens to be at the time. And we might be able to get those chunks to render in over there just barely. We can't quite make the opposite shore from here. Almost. You can just see some of the stuff rendering in. Really cool. I think I have to get over to this section here. These chunks rarely render in completely, and I think it's just I haven't been over there in a while and Bobby hasn't been filling them in. Bobby being the mod that simulates the chunks at greater distances than the server actually loads. So, but we have made the farm fully passive now. AFK location. Passive farm. Do not break this glass, please, fellow buffoons. So I've done a little bit of decoration here to light things up, to make it safer, but also, you know, just to spice things up a little bit. Nova's bed's still here. There we go. One of the things I did want to change over while I'm here is I think we have... The gunpowder should be all loaded up by now, is it? No, we still have a couple of slots open. We still have these other slots, maybe, that need to fill up. Yeah, so these hoppers need to fill up. And once these chests and these hoppers are full, then this farm will start crafting rockets again. So it hasn't really been crafting that much in the way of rockets because the gunpowder is being stacked up in those chests, and that's the order in which it processes. So it will build up and maintain the reserve of gunpowder first, and then it will craft the rockets. So we may change that eventually, so it just does them simultaneously. Also, some of the cane is sneaking past this collector right here when we're in the storage on. When storage is on, this should be grabbing it here and should be grabbing it here, but some of it's going by a little too quick and bobbing in the water stream and then getting pushed down here. And it's not a huge problem. See, it's only a couple here and there, but they are items being loaded that are just hanging out there. And so we could clean that up, right? But yeah, so we did a little bit of this kind of a thing right in here. If I do this just right, that might make a pretty good screenshot. Maybe a little bit more like that. And let me see, I want to move over to my right a little bit. No, I knew I messed that up. There we go. Maybe a little something like that for the thumbnail for the VOD. And again, I haven't been producing thumbnails for my VODs. I haven't been processing them for months and months now. I'm hoping I'll get back into that soon. Soon. All right, let's get out of this. Okay, now we need to go find something to do. But I did just want to show off that we mixed the block palettes for both of our bases, right? So we've got the black stone and sandstone and oak for mine, and we got the prismarine sandstone, terracotta for Nova's, and kind of mix those. Eventually, we may do more to decorate this mob farm and stuff, but for now, it's good enough. Uh-oh, slideshow. Nova did make a mod to help deal with this. I've yet to download it, but let's log off and log back on. because our render distance is super high right now. Let me switch over to cam scene while I do that. There we go. That way I can back out of multi-MC and then back in, reload, log back on. There we go. Make a couple of minor adjustments here while I'm waiting for this to load. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's not bad. All right, let's go in. Let's do the sleeping thing, and we can dispense of this rain. Let's go for a spin, boy. Okay. Coos. Right, so the first part of the main build will be right there. We could lay out all the other locations all the way around the island. In fact, I began to do that, but I'm thinking, you know, let's focus on the first build, the first portion of that. Look at that rendering in out there. Dang, what a beautiful scene that is. And that peak really... I'm so tempted to go up there and make a volcano. It just looks so cool. And you could see just part of that cherry biome is starting to come in over the rise there. So cool. I think we also have logical zoom. So if we did that and then that, wow. Are we close enough to see the farm working? Oh, we're heading over there that way anyway. One of the things I wanted to do is terraform the shoreline. I've started to do that. So right where the biome is, this will be sand. Because this is, you can see the dark blue water. That's Mushroom Island biome. Mushroom fields, mushroom shore, whatever. Mixture of those. It is not lukewarm ocean. If we make that, if we reclaim that solid ground there, then mobs won't spawn there. And I wanted to make a cool looking shoreline. I wanted to terraform the shoreline all the way around the island, and then I wanted to make a road that goes all the way around the island along the outer edge here. A perimeter road like that. And then from this road will be paths and roads that lead into the various builds from there. Look at this with the rendering distance set. I know I come out here. I probably did this last stream too, but I just absolutely love this view. Just so cool. I started to think of some sort of structure to build around the iron farm. I'm starting to get some ideas. And the main idea for the base, for this island and all of the builds on it, and the main thing that'll stitch the theme together is that there was an older Lovecraftian primordial kind of civilization here before, and some of those ruins are left behind, like the portal dais over here would be one of those. And so those would be the older ruins, and then that civilization was conquered and destroyed, and then the new civilization moved in and built on top, and that will be the sandstone, blackstone, and oak structures will be the newer structures on the island. And so the island will have those kind of features. The old stuff, which will be the blackstone, the deep slate, and the basalt, and the new stuff, which will have this block palette. And some of those will be integrated throughout. And then this will be terraformed with a lot of greenery and stuff, but there will be patches. This whole place down here will be a Mushroom Island Preserve down here. And there will be patches throughout the island of Mushroom Island Preserve.
Why should I care? Why should I care?
That's probably Lone Star telling me to change my scene. Yes. That's the second time I've done that in stream. Welcome on in, Lone. How are you doing? Thank you for reminding me about that. But just to recap, the idea is to have two styles of building. The old style with the blackstone and basalt and deep slate, representing the old, like, Lovecraftian civilization that was here before. And then the new stuff, which is the sandstone, blackstone, oak kind of block palette, which will be their conquerors who are now occupy the island. And then this over here, like I said, I have an idea now of how to do that. But the main structures for the old civilization will basically be these kinds of cylinder tower kind of things. And they'll be like in different states of reconstruction and integration, and sometimes just left as old ruins around. So you're gonna build something, yeah, but not the main build. But I don't know, maybe I'm gonna work on some terraforming, maybe do a little bit of that kind of building. So maybe I'm going to work on the shoreline right over there and get a little bit of that shoreline in on the front side here. So instead of cutting through the terrain to get to the different locations, the terrain is going to be set up in such a way that players will be less likely to do that. And right on this hill here, like I've mentioned before, that's where my Bobby will be, with a little garden and everything, and right up on this hill. Get that right, boy. And there'll be a little stable for our friends here. Oh, by the way, Alone. What, did that not reset itself after I logged back in? That's supposed to do that. I did have my status set. I absolutely did. I don't know what happened, but I did log off. But usually when you log back on, the status remains the same. But I guess not. That might have been something that's been updated. Status police! All right, let's bring this back down now. Video settings, let's lower this back down. Of course, the Mighty Lone Star, everybody, you can check out his... There we go. Auto shout out. Back to game. Let's take a look at this. So, what I've been doing down here, and I would like to extend this shoreline all the way around the island, but I'm going to try a small patch of it right here. Yeah, right over there. So we'll do a small section of this right now. Maybe this is what on what I will work. So I will keep the lukewarm ocean right there, and so I need to see the biome borders here in order to see how much of this I can reclaim. And then this will be sand, and then these will be rocks. And these rocks will be basically the basalt columns like I did in Season 2, where it's kind of like the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, or its corresponding eastern shoreline off the coast of the Hebrides Islands in Scotland, because I really like that look, and I don't think I really got to complete that too much in Season 2, so maybe this season I'll do a little bit better with that. And I just like that look for a shoreline. And one of the other things I want to do is make the shoreline somewhat less accessible. So when players come up to the shoreline, the lowest height will be 2 blocks, so they can't just climb up. And so you'll have to use the various points of entry to the island. So I'm thinking, let's delineate it maybe from that point right there. To maybe that point right there, and we'll work on that. So let's go gather some materials. And first we'll lay this out with just dirt. And then eventually we'll replace the dirt with sand once we get some kind of substrate underneath this that's going to support the sand better. And I'm thinking, since I have so much stone, I'll probably use stone for that. And I don't really care what it looks like, you know, just because blame Nova, yeah. I don't really care what it looks like. That will be under the water. But the surface, I care greatly what that's going to look like. So let's go. We'll do a little bit of inventory management. And we'll get some supplies. Mainly, we'll be stone and dirt for right now. And then I can show you the method I've been using to delineate the biome borders. You know, I'm quite tempted to decorate this chamber this stream. One of the things I wanted to do here was to continue the black stone and the deep slate and the basalt downward to at least this level, and then put some dripstone and stuff in here with some vegetation and some cool stuff. Make plenty of boats, a dock, you know, put a little bit of lore kind of stuff in here, and then make the tunnels all the way through, because you can see at some points, this is like temporary right in through here, but if we come over to this side, there's already a bunch of natural sea caves in the shoreline around the island. And so the idea is to extend these beneath the island's surface to make a cool network of sea tunnels under there. Right? As we go along the shoreline, you can see plenty of spots here where there are entrances, right? But they're just kind of random. They don't really hook up. And so to make, you know, purposeful yet natural looking caves out of those would be really cool. So that's part of some of the terraforming ideas I've had for the island. It's just doing things like that. Let's come over to here. Done. Let's head ahead. All right. Now, this part is usually kind of boring, but we do need to do some inventory management. Just a little bit to free up some shulkers and stuff. Do I have any more? Yes. Like this. Let's just make another temporary junk chest up here. Some of the other buffoons have built some downright magnificent storage systems. I haven't done that in a very, very long time. My build style usually makes something like this adequate enough, but I don't know. I might do that this season. I'm definitely going to do that in Generations, though. Generations really need storage. Let's do a little bit of management here. We've got some black stone bits here. Yeah. Prismarine? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to free up at least one shulker. We'll do some of this. Crafted oak. Yeah, we're going to go with, when we do decide to do this, multi-item storage. Definitely. Definitely the way to go. Do I have any bone meal? I don't think so, because I usually just get bone meal over at the farm. The farm. Southern Mob Farm. Let's just stick it in here for now. There we go. D&D. Soul sand. Soul sand should. Go right in here. And I have some items in the chest here clogging this stuff. Let's get that out of there. This stuff should be okay for now. Yeah, we don't need the extra boat. One's enough. Good. Right. Oh, wait. So much D&D. Look at all that. Beautiful. Beautiful sight. Let's grab some stone. Right out of here. Let's do that. That should be enough. That's going to be much more than enough. This ought to do us. How did I miscount that? It's impossible. Let's head on down. You know, it's these little quality of life features like this that I really love. I've been putting this off forever. But I would like to make a redstone door for this. And I think I know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it activated with a skulk sensor, and I'm going to set the skulk sensor so this rowing sound will set it off. And so when we approach, this will open, and when we stop rowing, it'll close. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. What am I doing for time? I've got 4 minutes until the break. Actually, I'll probably take the break in 1 minute, 3-minute break, and then come back at noontime. That's probably what I'll do. All right, so let's get on high here so we can look down. I can kind of show you guys from, kind of show you? No, I can definitely show you. There we go, this kind of thing. So I'll probably bring it from right there and we'll follow the biome border right around. You know what, let's use the road here as a boundary and we'll bring it right to at least that point. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see if we can get that far during the stream. Okay, so at this point, we're about at the halfway point, close enough, and let us take a 3-minute break, and then we'll be back and we'll get started on this. Hey there, welcome back. You know, when I took my break and I actually was AFK, I went out to the kitchen to get my drink. I came back and I noticed I never logged off the server at nighttime. And that is really risky. And if you think that's not risky because I'm on a mushroom island, you would be very wrong. Because I was a number of times. Yeah, I actually made Nova chuckle when I was AFK at the bee farm, and I told him that I got struck by lightning, or I didn't get struck by lightning. A lightning strike touched down right next to me, spawning a trap horse. And since it was right next to me, it triggered the trap horse. And skeletons came out and killed me, of course. All while I was AFK. So you can imagine I returned and I'm like, what the? Killed by a skeleton? Impossible. And then I looked around and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, that's right. That's what happened. Okay. So yeah, dangerous place to AFK still. The way I've been doing this, that makes this a little bit easier. Is, yeah, I use mini-HUD for this. Shape render. Toggle. Biome border. There it is. Like, well, how did these get turned off? That's strange. Okay. So this is how I've been doing this. Let's turn that off so we only get the biome border. And if I go down to right about this level, then I come on up to here. This is good enough. You can see these biome border. And let me see, I can also, yeah, you can see it update. So you have to render this just right. Like if I'm here, I'll show you this border. And you can see where I've done a pretty good job in following this. And so this is the biome border between this and the warm ocean and the mushroom island. Right? If we turn on F3 like this, you can see mushroom fields. And then if I go into this area, you can see it change to lukewarm ocean. So I'm going to start by getting out some dirt. And again, there I go, making single syllable words in English into two syllable words. Dirt. It's fun. All right, and so now the tricky bit of this is like a block like that. That means the block under it is Mushroom Island, sure, but the block above it is not. And yeah, I just don't use that block. It's risky. But if we just do something like this. And you can see this actually goes along pretty quick. Before, now, occasionally it'll update if I get too far away and I have to come back out here and reset. But that's not that big of a deal to me. But the way I used to do this before is just to turn on F3 and keep an eye on the biome. Like this, if you look at the biome line down there where it says mushroom fields, and just place it like this and just follow that. That's what I used to do before. But this is a little bit quicker using mini-HUD. There. Just a little bit quicker. And I think it's once I cross the border into the other biome, that's when it updates and changes, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to watch it the next time that happens. But like this is going to be a little bit difficult to do because I think the border will update and change. So it's not quite robust enough for me to choose the border of the biome, right? In that, like, I only want to see the biome border between the Mushroom Island and the lukewarm ocean. No, it'll just show biome borders. And so if I move into the next biome like that, then it will change and update. It's not that big of a deal, but just knowing how it works and how it doesn't work. Yeah, see, there's a bit right there. That's where I crossed into the next border. Now, technically, this block is still Mushroom Island right here, but the block above it is not. So let's see how that reads. Biome. There is Mushroom Fields. Still Mushroom Fields. Yeah, we should be okay. Just gonna go like this. And so once I cross into that, now, even though this block is in the Mushroom Fields biome, the block above it but the block above that up here is part of the lukewarm ocean, because the border biomes, remember, they delineate vertically as well as just horizontally, right? Well, thank you. Changed my scene. Actually, I just never change it back, so. But thank you, Lone Star, for keeping an eye on that. Well, I guess changed the scene, right, from the Be Right Back scene to this. Okay, yeah, all right. Was I actually wrong about being wrong? Does that mean I was right? So I think I'm just going to bring it right to here. This is a good spot. Like right there. That's good. So all of this will be shoreline here. And then we'll extend it out this way. We may have to reset the biome, though. Yeah, see? It just updated because I crossed at some point. But we just reset it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And I go here. If I set it up high, you'll get the border biomes up there. If I set it down a little bit lower, you'll get the ones like at the surface of the water, which is where I want it. The surface of the water, and then just a block or two above that. See, this is shared biome blocks here. That's where I crossed in, and that's why it changed. It just changed again. Again, it's not that big of a deal. It's just moving over here, resetting it. That means the biome updated somewhere here. And again, I want to go right out to there. I've already gone out over there pretty far. And sometimes the biome borders mix depending on how you have your game settings selected. Yeah. Not a biggie. But I mean, even occasionally having to do this, not that big of a deal. Yes, I can. I really should just stop right there, I'm thinking. That would be a good point to stop, but I want to get that road area as well. So see how this is not Mushroom Island shore here? Mobs will actually spawn there. So There we go. And we have some features here too, so I'm just going to blast out this turret and see what we have here. Right? We can do that, but this stuff, no. This stuff's in the other biome, technically. And let me see, I'm going to have to reset the playlist on the stream. Let's do that. There we go. All right, come on over to here. This is good. Okay. Nope. Let's do the sleeping thing. By the way, the rigging that I was speaking of in Blender earlier, Kachi showed me quite a bit of that. And I also found a very good tutorial on that, too. So between those two powerful sources, the rigging should be finished very shortly for Blender. And then from Blender, that means I compose the model on which I need for our build out there. And then that means I can voxelize that. Yeah, let's bring it right to there. I can voxelize that and then make the schematics. Oh, that's weird. That's probably mixed biome right there. Yeah, let's reset this because it's a little weird. And actually, you know what? If I go low enough, well, no, it's being stubborn. I'd have to go very, very low down there. Yeah, I want to take that out. And I want to take these out. And that one. Yeah, see how it shifted upward just then? Let's go get these bits that are floating around here, then we'll go reset it. So it's like, when in doubt, just drop down a couple of blocks. Because I'm really only, this Y level 63 is what I want. I really don't care about the other Y levels. All right, so let's get back here. We'll get way down here. There. This makes things a little easier. I think I can grab this one right here, so I think I'm good there. But yeah, once the model is complete and posable, then I can voxelize it and then print out the schematic for it and start building. And we are very, very, very close to being able to do that now. And part of the reason why I've been procrastinating on that is I don't want to be doing Blender stuff. I just want to be building in Minecraft, but I've chosen this path and I should just get on with it. And I did. I got it down. I made a lot of progress. Now I have Blender skills, whether I wanted them or not. And apparently I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff in Minecraft again. So the Season 4 style of building has reared its head once more. And So I think it's something we should get down. Besides, I just like the mathiness of it too. All right. This goes to here. I think I was heading out that way with it. Wow, the middle scroll wheel is so hard to use. Dinky little mouse for tiny little hands. All right, here we go. Okay. Yeah, we got a little bit of trouble there. Let's reset. That's better. I think, chat, you all can have a look at this now, see how this works. How am I doing for time for the stream? 12:18. You know what? I've got plenty of time. I feel like I should just go for it and just bring it all the way out there. See, things are getting a little snug here. Yeah, and see how this is. We've got some border mixtures going on vertically there. Let's get way down here. I think that's okay. We do have a little bit of border shenanigans going on here. Like that. That's all right. All right, we're going to have to adjust. You can see the border is getting snug right up against the island here. There it is. Fuck. This is where things get a little difficult, because you do need to stand in the Mushroom Island border itself in order to fill it, but at the same time it triggers the mini HUD. Let's take a look. Mushroom fields, mushroom fields, mushroom fields. Yeah, we're good. You can see right in here things are getting a little hokey. So if I head down to here, like this, should be good. Yes. And I'll get rid of the debug screen in just a moment. Just give me a sec here. Do some filling in. Like that. Then I think something like this. I think this should do it. I think that's good enough. And I'll deal with that later. But this is enough. Here comes Lone Star. There. Okay, I think I can now turn that stuff off. Of course, one always has to wonder, what has brought Lone Star onto the server? Oh no! Short visit. Okay. All right. Not that we're not happy to see you. Okay, this is going to collapse out from underneath us. So let's do a little bit of that. And now we're just filling in. Like, we have to fill in all of this now. And now I'm thinking I may have to set up a conduit. Maybe. Now eventually this will be sand. But right now I'm placing dirt just to mark it out. Then I will build the stone underneath it. And then I will tear up the dirt and replace it with the sand. Now I could just do entirely sand, but sand's a little unstable. And stability is kind of important here. Now, in some cases, in some spots, you'll see the biome is made like little pools in there and stuff. I want to keep that there. It's cool. They're like, consider them natural features, like little tidal pools and stuff. Right? Okay, bye. All right. See ya. Extremely short visit. Okay. All right. You can see, thanks to Mini HUD, this is moving along very quickly. At least I feel it's quick. For me, yeah, this is fast for me. So. And I think I'm going to leave that little shoreline shroom right there. All right, we need a little bit more dirt. Fuck, we need a lot more dirt. We're going to have to go on a dirt run, I think. I know. Yeah, there's no speculation about that. Yeah, one stack of dirt is not going to... Well, let's go get that right now. So you can see like how the shoreline is going to extend around here. Right? It's going to be fun putting in this door. Again, I want to make it something fun and something cool. And I could just put just an ordinary 3x3 piston door kind of thing in there, but I don't know. I want to make it, you know, not just functional. Just do that. Do I have? I should have a chest set up for Kelp there. Okay. Please. Skills. Thank you. Okay. Let us do this. I love this place. This is going to wind up being one of my favorite seasons, I think. Season 4, for me personally, Season 4 is really hard to top. Again, you know, I had to depart for Season 3. Season 2 is nostalgic and special just because that was my first one. But Season 4 is probably my best building. I did enjoy Season 5, but not so much. But this Season 6, this is going to be another Season 4 kind of memory, I believe. Experience. At least it will be for me. I can't speak for the other buffoons, but... Alrighty, crank it along. Slowest builder on the server, but I'm getting it done. 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 Okay, next would be the stone. So let's do that. Let's break out ye old shulker. Let's do this. I'm going to leave this sand here. Let's do that with the stone. Put the shulker back in. Great. Again, I might have to end up setting up a conduit here. But as far as the stone's concerned, I think I'm just going to do something like this. And if you're thinking, why are you going all the way down to the seafloor and filling all of this in and stuff? Structures underneath this. Future plans. If I had enough dirt, I would fill in most of this with dirt. In fact, I'm thinking I should probably do that. Let's delineate the stone on the outside like this. Yeah, see, we're running out of air already. It's not that bad. We have the respiration 3 and stuff, so it's all right. Okay, I think I know how I want to do this. I want at least this layer to be stone all the way in. That way the sand will sit on it nicely. That's what I want. Yep, let's do that. And then as far as bringing the sides down to the surface and any fill that'll displace the water, I'll be concerned with that later. And looks like the sun's about to set. And let me see, we have plenty of time left on the stream, actually. About 26 minutes. Yeah, see, that's particularly brutal, having the sand there. That's going to cause problems. But I think it'll be easier once this stuff is filled in. Kelp! Hawk! That's another thing I like about the warm ocean biome, is the lack of kelp. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I was just thinking, you know, how it would make this mathier. I'm not going to, don't worry. Don't flee in terror. But I would take the shape of the island, which I already have, and use that as a fractal and generate a fractal shoreline based on the overall shape of the island. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Just set the resolution to 1 block size and then approximate it best as possible. That would be a cool thing to do. I did actually start something on the community server that way with the mountain base that I was working on. I did make a fractal dragon curve, and I was starting that off. I might use that idea again at some point. It's too good not to use. And I think it would particularly lend itself particularly well to Minecraft. And are we running out of air? There we go. Now, I will not, and I absolutely promise this, not just to you, but to myself, I will not attempt to terraform this like I terraformed the Apiary Isle on Generations. I will never do that again. At least not in that way. That was a fail. The outcome was okay, but the process was a disaster. So no, I'm not going to do that. No. That was proofed out. That method was proofed out, and it proved to be bad. The structure of it, though, went very well. Like the sketching it out in stone, went very well. I really felt that that part was successful, but the detailing was just awful. The block palette, how it was applied, everything is just terrible. So I will never do that again. But I will think of some way. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, wait. No, this does need to be filled in. Okay, sure, whatever. Okay, we need to bring this out to here. Okay. Yeah, all right. Air, we need air. I need some air. Okay, this is looking good. Reclaiming land. All right, let's go fill this stuff in. So far, I'm getting along quite well without the conduit, so I think I'll be all right there. The conduit. We're getting there. Let us fill this in really quick. Fuck. Please. Alright, doing well, doing well. Also, I might not be able to raid out today. I think Kachi has an early release day today. Much earlier than normal, and so I think I'm going to have to shoot right over there and go get him right after the stream. We'll see what's happening. Hawk, hands, please. I mean, with the kelp, really, people. And I think I was going... Did I not just go... I just went all the way over there, didn't I? Right. And we got about 16 minutes left of the stream. Plenty of time. We can probably at least do this part of the process. Make this stone shelf all the way out to there. Not if we keep doing things like that. Hands, please. Viewers wondering, who's this Hans guy? Hans? We gotta make him an official part of the lore. There we go. I can see it's getting dark up there on the surface, so time to do the sleeping thing. We're gonna have to put some more stone in the inventory, and we don't have any, so we should go do that. Look at this dude. Hey there, fella. You're pretty far from home. Did you get lost out here? How did you get way out here? Let me see. Can you get in a boat by floating on the surface? Can you do this kind of a thing? Yeah. Good. I could bring you home. Oh, that's funny. Welcome back. How come I can't hit the boat? What's happening? There. Okay. Come on. Back up to the land. The newly formed land. What happened to my boat? Did it sink? Really? There. Rescue complete. Let us go back over there now. Oh, this game's so funny sometimes. I should take this marker down. This marker, I was originally, I think I was bringing the road all the way over here. Yeah, because I no longer need that. Oh, I was originally going to build a mob farm there. I think that's why I put that marker there. Yeah, that's where that originally was going to go. But then Nova and I had different plans. We decided to put that over there instead. All right, let's get up here. I so love the bubble vader. I shouldn't have waited so long to put that in, but let's see. This goes here. That goes there. That can go in there. Dirt. We're all out of dirt, I think. We might have some in some of the other shulkers and stuff. But the rest of the stone is right here. And we still have some in the chest here. I don't think I have any more lurking. Well, let's just pull whatever. This is a little bit of item management here. Right. Let's go over to here. Yeah, see, we still have some. Just cleaning things up. Regular viewers of Generations will be familiar with that practice. Let's see. Let's pull out about that much in the inventory, and then we have that much in the chests. I think we're good. We'll keep that much in our personal inventory. I think that'll do it. Wait. There are some more stuff right there. Okay, that should do it. Back to work. Here we go. Let's go pack our boat right here. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah. Okay. Where were we? I think we left off right here. Yeah. I might leave that. I might leave that open. We'll see. No, I won't. Let's close it up. Let's bring this down so it's not confusing. At least down to there. That's already kind of filled with dirt there. It's not kind of filled, it's definitely filled. But we can bring this out to here. Then we're going to need to do some sand mining because I've done a lot of sand. I've used a lot of sand in my stores. But that'll be, of course, off camera. And then we get into that stuff, and we'll have to fix that later. My plan here is where the biome border goes right up to these cliffs is to push those cliffs back, following the chunk borders and stuff, pretty much. Closing up some of this stuff, opening up some other areas. Again, we were thinking of making the sea tunnels all the way through, right? Some of this might do, might outline some of those features. Right. The idea was to get in here and fill some of this with dirt. Just to displace the water, because there will doubtless be features under here. And I'll need the water removed to install those. So I guess next move should probably be dirt, right? Like dirt out to here. Probably going to need a lot more dirt. But we could also do gravel too, which might help. Because we can reuse the gravel. Just displace the water, reuse the gravel. And I believe I have lots of gravel. Now that stuff could be dug out, but I'm not going to do that. No. Like this. Yeah. Right. Okay, this is doing its thing. Am I out of dirt? Good gracious. Let's do that. I'm gonna need a lot more dirt. Okay, all of that's all right. Right into here. Go. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to fill in all of that stuff. Some of that stuff I want to leave open, actually, for the caves. And I think it's nighttime up above. So I should probably do the sleeping thing, right? Again, you would think it would be safe enough out here, but no, it's not. It's not safe at all. It's only safer to an unexpected lesser degree. Let's get in here. Here we go. Man, the block auto placement is so aggressive with the hands. It's like, can you just calm down? The kelp does not help matters. The kelp does not help. Yeah. The Dr. Seuss streaming Minecraft. I mean, I'm family friendly, but I don't necessarily have to rhyme everything when I speak. Come on. There we go. Coolness. Let's get rid of that. In fact, this interior stuff, when I run out of dirt, which will, yeah, be off camera, probably just fill this with the excess gravel that I've acquired. This doesn't really have to be dirt. I'm just displacing water on the interior parts here. The cool thing, well, I mean, I can reclaim most of the gravel. Some of it will be turned into flint, right? But I can reclaim the dirt afterwards, so that's good. You wouldn't think so, but dirt's actually quite a commodity here on the Mushroom Island. Let me see. We're doing the facing out of stone, so we don't need that. And is that? No, I still have all of that to do. How am I doing? I'm about 1 minute out. Yeah, here we go with this stuff. Yeah, like that. I think this is what I was after. Again, what my plan here is to do this kind of thing. You're kidding, right? Okay, let's see if he has anything good. Oh, he does. Lone Star requires you to check your status, of course. Mini ender chest, but it shows like a player's head or something. But Eggman, I'm definitely into that. That's worth a diamond. What a fine little way to end the stream. Actually, I think this is more like a plushie. Not a player head, it's a plushie. So, yeah. So it looks a little bit better like this in your hand, because you can discern what it is a little bit better. Actually, I have it backwards. Let's see if I can place it. There. And there. Okay, not bad. A little season 5 stuff there. Okay, and with that, let us end the stream. Switch over to Campsy. There we go. And yes, I will forego rating out today. I need to zip right on out of here and go fetch Kachi from school and bring him on home. So at this point, I would just like to remind everybody that we do this Buffooncraft stream we stream this Buffooncraft stream. We stream the stream every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our next stream, if Kachi feels up to it, our next stream will be Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That'll be Kachi time. And then after that will be Wednesday. And from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that'll be Generations. And we should be on the Generations 5 survival world, working on the Drown Farm on there. So, okay, with that, thank you everyone for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be. Join us again next time. And bye for now.